Welcome to Storytime with Tallulah. Today's reading comes from r/EntitledParents. Our first story is titled, I Shouldn't Get My Badge Since I Was Too Young. Backstory, really was an extrovert as a kid, so I took Boy Scouts. This was before Girl Scouts can join Boy Scouts. I was really good at it, so I continued to work hard. When I was 13, I took a first aid merit badge. So I did my thing and got the pre-badge requirements done, so I was pumped to sew it. Let's meet out cast for today. OP me, EP, the entitled counselor who was base against me, SM Scoutmaster, K, EP's kid. Story. So I got all my prereqs done and I was super hyped to do the badge along with others. So I showed my understanding of the badge and even the older scouts there were impressed. So when EP need help, I gave it to her not knowing the result. So I was helping a kid out and entitled person pulled me aside to only tell me this. You need to grow up a bit before you can the badge. Look at my son, he 100% knows what he is doing and is over first class. I was a tenderfoot at the time, so I tried to calmly explain to her that I obviously knew what I was talking about for the badge and I proved that I have all the prereqs. So this went back and forth like tug of war, but tug of war quickly escalated into war. Entitled person. Even if you have the requirements, you are just a stupid kid and don't know anything. Or something along the lines of that. Me. Well, clearly, you're dumber than me if you need me to explain the material, you dumb a-hole. You spelled you are wrong, calling someone dumb. Entitled person, you need to learn to respect your elders. There's so many typos in this, it's ironic. Me, well, most elders are smart. Clearly you are a rock. Did this really happen between a kid and an adult? Did this really happen? She actually grabbed me and pushed me out of the door to the first aid training. Me, get your grimy, wrinkly, filthy hands off me, you person of not coolness. After I got the head leader of the camp, she reluctantly gave me my blue card. Blue cards show you got the actual badge fair and square. Final day rolls around and I get my envelope with all the blue cards. I had them all with flying colors except for one. Hi, welcome back to Insert Game Show here, and let's see our question. What badge was missing from the envelope? Was it A, fishing, B, first aid, C, leatherworking? If you guessed B, you would be correct. Well, it wasn't missing. It was shredded up and a piece of white paper that said grow up. I was furious. I grabbed my scoutmaster, dragged him along to the first aid site and let her get a piece of my mind. She denied it left and right and even had the audacity to say, why would it be little ol' me? Scoutmaster, ma'am, we know it was you. We have cameras for YPT, but they catch everything. Slowly, the color drained from her face. I never knew about these cameras, but better late than never. I had to prove to the council that I did understand the material in the end, but I aced that. Thankfully, entitled person got fired on the spot and I got the badge after all. Edit, forgot to mention it, but her son came in also to report her to police afterwards, so he was cool. That was hard to read. It was so hard to get through. If that happened, I'm sorry you had experienced that level of abuse from a person, especially when you're trying to better yourself and learn things. That's terrible. I'm calling bull. I don't know if that actually happened. That seems a bit much for a child. Our next story is titled, It's Your Fault My Children Won't Eat Today. Saw another post that reminded me of this incident. I can't provide screenshots as this was close to 10 years ago, but I'll recount it as best I can. For months before this, I had been very ill. Should I lay on the couch throwing up water again or go to the hospital? Kind of sick. I eventually found out I had developed an illness that required me to change my entire diet. So I went through my kitchen and boxed up maybe 80% of the canned and dry food I had. The box was too big and heavy for me to even get into my car. So I posted it online as a first come, first serve offering. Shelf stable food free. People dropped by throughout the day to pick through the box and grab what they wanted. Near the end of the day, it was still half full, and I had an email requesting a full list of everything that was in the box, including brand names and flavors. I said no. It was a big box. I was exhausted, and people were welcome to leave what they didn't want. Entitled mom. Well, my kids are picky eaters, so I won't come in. Come get it if you don't tell me what you have. Me. I understand. If you change your mind, you have my address. No, I need this food for my kids. Just take pictures of everything if you're too lazy to write it down. That's not something I'm able to do right now. Best of luck. I just want you to know it's your fault my kids won't eat today, you stupid person. At this point, I was just frustrated and wanted the stuff off my porch, so I called the local food bank and they sent someone to get it within a few hours. 2 days later, I'm awoken from a nap by pounding on my front door. She had changed her mind and come to get the food after all and wanted to know where it was hidden. I told her I had donated it after she indicated she wouldn't come get it and she was incensed. I had to close the door in her face and threaten to call the police to get her to stop screaming and leave my house. Oh my gosh. Some people are absolutely crazy, aren't they? Just totally nuts. That's just... the world, I think, will never cease to amaze me. It is something else. Our next story is titled, Entitled Mother and Son Would Like to Trade Expensive Lightsaber Replica for a Much Cheaper One. This happened about a year or so ago in California's Disneyland, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge to be specific. It was basically my geeky dream to go there and get a Savis Workshop lightsaber for my 14th birthday. I was eating at one of the quick bite restaurants there. It had only burritos and it was an open area with a moving statue in the middle. Entitled Mother looked to be in her 40s. K, about my age, maybe 1 year younger. Me, mom, dad, kid. Yo, cool lightsaber. Check this one out. He shows me his lightsaber that he must have bought somewhere else. It was the plastic kind, not one from Savvy's. But I'll admit it was still authentic and double-bladed, so I really loved it. We talked for a while. Seemed he was a hardcore Star Wars fan as well. Entitled Mother comes over. Hey Kay, come on, the order is ready. Would you mind us sitting at the unoccupied half of the table? Dad, sure, go ahead. I won't bore you, but a conversation ensues between our two groups. They seem like really nice people and eventually ask where we got the saber. We tell them and eventually they finish their food and presumably head over to Savvy's. In a matter of time, they return. Entitled Mother. Wow, no kidding, huh? Those things are expensive. Mom and Dad. Yeah, for sure, but it's his birthday, so we made an exception. Kid. Well, I saw you liked my saber, so I was wondering if we could trade. Honestly, I really considered it at first. It was cool and all, but I noticed the price difference and the value of the lightsaber to me. No thanks, but I think they have some good replicas at the shop adjacent to Savvy's if you want some. We get up to leave and the Entitled Mother starts insisting and practically shoving the thing in my face. Without wasting too much time, eventually the trail is to the other end of the park and the start of the line for the Millennium Falcon ride. So a cast member get involved and the Entitled Mother starts bringing up excuses and asking to see the rules of the park. She insists on trading, but the cast member draws her away and I enjoy the rest of the day. Edit. Star Watts is now Star Wars. Edit 2. Entitled Kid is now just K. He wasn't really entitled or anything, and he did back off after asking once. The Entitled Mother was the one that kept persisting, thought the kid didn't do anything to stop her. He also didn't push farther. He was also embarrassed when his mother started arguing with the cast member. That's crazy. Like, people are really like that. It's like, oh, it's like they want everything for their kid and don't care about anybody else's. So it's like, oh, my kid wants the better thing, but I can't get it for them. So I'm just going to try and like oppress somebody else and like demand that they do something to benefit me. And then they lose out on it. This is so ridiculous how people are. Our next story is titled, Entitled Mother Tries to Yell at Me Because She Crashed Her Nice Car into My Old Car. Thank you, kind stranger, for the gold. I really appreciate it and I will give back to the community. Thank you so much. This is before quarantine. So I'm 15 and I have a driver's permit and my friend 18 has a driver's license, so she was in the passenger seat. So basically I was just driving to a Jack in the Box or Tim Hortons, whichever one closer, and we stopped at a red light, and as it changed to green, I went and this lady rams into my side door in the back, and thankfully none of us were harmed. Anyway, we quickly got out of there as we grabbed out wallets, phones, the important stuff afterwards. Anyway, I started to panic as I'm crying at this point, and this is where Entitled Mom pops in. Entitled Mom. What the F did Chow just do to my perfect car? I couldn't speak as my friend stepped in. Friend, you ran a red light, dummy. Were you driving? No, but I saw everything. It was you driving. Looking at me, I managed to nod as she said, you are too young to drive. She laughed slightly as she thought she was going to throw one minor and a new adult in jail and get money from it. Basically, Entitled Mother crossed her arms and waited for the police as we traded insurance cards. The police came and assessed the situation as they questioned Entitled Mother first. Entitled Mother. Those two are drunk driving and almost killed me and my baby boy. She had what seems to be an 8-year-old, which seemed fine as the police talked to him as people check all of us for any damage. Entitled Mother. My baby boy is scared and this just ruined life for him. The police just nodded and went to us. I was still crying. This seems like I'm a baby, but I have autism, which makes me scared of confrontation and yelling and most definitely anything bad. And so basically the police questioned us as we explained the situation and showed him our driver's license and ID. IDs. The police were extremely nice to me as I had a card explaining my autism and they just generally helped me calm down. Anyway, the police saw cameras for a store outside which caught everything as they checked the traffic cameras and the store cameras. Entitled mother smirked like a demon as she thought she would get away with this, and the police came back saying they watched the footage as the colour drained out of her face as she kept changing her story to get out of the situation as she said, "My boy needs to go to football practice. If he's late, he will be kicked off the team and it's gonna be your fault," while yelling at the officer. And then 10 seconds later she said, "My mom is in the hospital and I need to see her before she dies," and then, "My baby boy needs to go to the doctor for shots," etc. So basically, in the end, she was in a police cruiser and I was taken to Tim Hortons. I'm a Uber with my friend and back to my home. I did press charges as there was so many witnesses, as in court she broke down saying, "I need to feed my kids," while she had like Gucci and Louis Vuitton. I was able to fix my car and I never ran into her again. Edit. Spelling and formatting. Also, I got most of the stories is because I live in an entitled neighborhood where it is the buzz box for all entitled people. People have messaged me on my first and second post on this subreddit saying I made the stories up. You can think that, but just to let you know, I do live in an expensive neighborhood where people think that they are better than others. Another edit. I got my learner's permit, not my driver's license. Driver's permit is where you have to have someone with their driver's license in the car with you as you drive. People are nuts, but it's nice that the cameras can catch their lies and then they get in trouble for it because it's just ridiculous that people are willing to lie and try and ruin somebody else's life. It's just absolutely absurd that people would do that. It's so annoying. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, please like it. If you enjoy these types of videos, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit that bell for notifications so you know when more videos come out. Thank you all for your continued support. If you'd like to join the Discord, the link for that's in the description below. It's an awesome place filled with fantastic people. You'll also find all of my other social media links if you'd like to follow me on different places of the internet as well. Hope you all are staying safe out there, and with that being said, we'll see you next time.